Saturday Talk สนับสนุนโดยธนาคารอิสลามแห่งประเทศไทย
Jump up and pull on my jeans, it feels good, they're a little tight.
Is that you can have many approaches in art, in style, and content.
คอนเซ็ปต์ก็คือเป็น color of day and color of night ก็คือว่าเป็นจากของเราคนสองคนเนี่ยมีสื่อกับไอเดียที่ไม่เหมือนกันระหว่างสีสันแล้วก็กลางวันและกลางคืนแล้วก็ภาพผิวแล้วก็ vibrant night life
ครับเข้าสู่ช่วง Saturday Talk ครับวันนี้อยู่ที่ก้อย Art Gallery นะครับอยู่กับมิสเตอร์คริสโคลซึ่งเป็นศิลปินเจ้าของงานที่วาดภาพที่ท่านผู้ชมอาจจะไม่เคยเห็นนะครับเพราะว่าเป็นอีกมุมมองหนึ่งของเมืองไทยของผู้หญิงไทยแล้วก็อะไรหลายๆอย่างเกี่ยวกับเมืองไทยซึ่งจะเป็นมุมมองที่แตกต่างกว่าที่เราคุ้นเคยกันครับแล้ววันนี้ยังมีหนังสือเล่มใหม่ออกมาด้วยนะครับ Navigating the Bangkok Noir ครับคริสโคลครับสวัสดีครับHow are you doing?
สบายดีครับ
สบายดีครับ You speak a little Thai so we should teach you in Thai
พูดไทยไม่ได้
พูดไทยไม่ได้ So Bangkok Noir I'm quite familiar with your work but you need to explain to the audience what is Bangkok Noir to you
Well Bangkok Noir is kind of a artistic movement and there are about 5 writers and there's myself and basically we're using nighttime Bangkok as a setting for stories for paintings for artistic work. And the basic idea is to kind of have a playful use of all the nighttime settings and scenes in Bangkok. When the lights are on and the neon shining and everyone looks kind of dressed up and you don't see a lot of the small flaws like the bad sidewalks because it's nighttime and it's dark.
So is that's what intrigues you? What's behind that curiosity?
I think the reason it attracts writers and artists, the Bangkok Noir, nighttime, is because it's a very interesting, dramatic setting. And there are many players in the setting from all over the world, Russians, Arabs, Iranians, Indians, Chinese, Australians, Germans, as well as Thais. Also Japanese, Koreans, Malaysians. And people at night are moving around in a different way than during the day. At night, people are somehow leading more free lives in a sense, not conforming to their office rules or company's rules. And so you see people in a more colorful way. People are doing more colorful things, and it lends itself to artistic or drama or stories.
That's why all the colors and the strong brush strokes and
right.
Is that right?
In a way, the colors are all coming from lighting rather than from daylight. So you get a much stronger color. At nighttime, in a bar or restaurant or nightclub, you often have green lights, red lights, blue lights, all kinds of color lights. And you have hot zones of light and then dark zones of light. So you get a much more dramatic lighting. Whereas at daytime, you get kind of a flat light where everything's kind of lit the same level. And it's not as interesting dramatically.
But it doesn't look... do you feel that you look at the nighttime in Bangkok in Thailand the same way as Thais do, in a way?
I think because I'm an outsider in Thailand, it's funny, when I go into a nightclub, I sit in the corner usually, so I disappear, and they don't come and ask me to buy too many drinks, too.
That's the trick.
And one of the first things I do is start counting all the lighting sources. And in some nightclubs, there might be 3,000 or 4,000 lights. And I'll kind of catalog, I'll go around the whole club, cataloging all the lights, the red lights, the green lights, the lights going on and off, the lights that are bouncing off mirrors. And then I watch how the lighting is going on to people, where we translate lighting back to normal. In actual fact, there'll be some green light here, blue light here, and red light here. And it's kind of a sea of light. And I think Thais are very clever with lighting without actually thinking about it too much, because I think in Thai temples, spirit houses, and a lot of things in the Thai tradition, they've used lighting a lot. And so anyone who opens a restaurant, bar, nightclub in Thailand, the first thing they do is throw a lot of lighting in it.
Yeah, but the way you see, the way you use lighting and the way you express in your paintings, it's not the normal Thai way of looking at, the
Right.
beautiful, the bright lights and
Right. I think
how to project.
I think when a normal person goes out at night, they want to relax and escape and stop worrying about their daily troubles and just have some fun for 2
So I
hours.
guess what trying to get it is what are you trying to really express?
Right. So when I go out at night, I'm not just relaxing or escaping. I'm actually working. So whereas a normal person would go to a club and just let it wash over him, but all the effects and the illusion create the artificial space where he's just escaping and forgetting his daily problems. I go in and try to deconstruct the illusion. So I deconstruct how the lighting's working, how the sound's working, how the decoration is working, what the people are doing in relationship to each other. And I'm kind of like almost studying the structure of the club, the structure of the entertainment venue, and how it's put together and how it works. So I'm looking at it with a different eye than someone who's just relaxing. I'm looking at it with as though I were going to take it all apart and then reconstruct it in a painting.
But the subjects themselves, the ladies, the lady boys,
Right.
the activities that's
If you
going
notice, in a
on.
lot of my paintings, basically I'm going to the personality and the inner life of the subject. The surface presentation, the makeup, hair, and costume are there for a purpose, to make money to sell to a customer. But I'm trying to find out what's going on inside the person and somehow express that in the painting. So I have the surface that they are wearing, and then I try to go inside to what they're feeling. For instance, they might be smiling, but that's just for the customer.
I see.
And actually, maybe their child is sick or their mother or father are having problems. And inside, they're worrying, they're not smiling. So, for instance, this is a painting of Victor Bout, the Russian spy who was arrested.
I see.
And that my pretense is that's the painting of him the moment he was arrested when they went into the hotel room. And he was kind of chubby then, before he spent some time in the Thai prison where he got much thinner. And I tried to get in his eyes the idea that he knew as soon as that door was opened and the people came into the room, he knew he was a rabbit who was in a trap. And he was thinking, why did I come here? Why did I see this? And he knew there was no way he was going to get out of that trap. And I think you see that in his eyes. So even though his exterior is, normally he'd be a very confident man, and he had kind of a chubby, Russian, robust kind of physique. In his eyes, you see that he's a confident man who's suddenly been
Do people
startled.
find your paintings a little bit, can I use this word, scary in a way?
Yeah, I think some of the paintings are a little scary because some of the people I encounter in the Bangkok night are kind of scary. For instance,
So that's why the expression.
the lady boy over here is definitely a scary lady boy. And she is just so wired up and so intense that if you know something about Bangkok, you kind of like back off a little bit because you're afraid she might like bite off your arm.
Well, we are at the gallery anyway, and your show is going to be till the end of April. Maybe we'll walk around a little bit
Okay.
and see what you have in mind in other kind of paintings too. Chris, yeah, she certainly looks scary up close.
Yeah, this is a lady boy. She's, in some respects, a very successful lady boy. She makes a great deal of money. And a kind of powerful lady boy. You can see the kind of power. But
Yeah.
she's so powerful and so intense that she's a little bit scary because she's kind of has a tremendous aggression, kind of hunger to her. And I think I always show the lady boys. I painted quite a few lady boys. I always show them from the shoulders up rather than their whole bodies.
But you get the intensity.
And I try to get the ambiguity, like you're not quite sure it's a lady or a man.
Oh, man.
But there's always a little hint, like the shoulder here is a man's shoulder.
I
and
see.
And it's too big. Now, some people often ask me, how come you paint so many Thai women and men at night who have blonde hair or blue eyes or yellow eyes? All Thais have dark hair and brown eyes or black eyes. And I say, well, actually in Bangkok night, an awful lot of people have dyed hair of various colors.
Yes, they
And
do.
They also put contact lenses in their eyes of various colors.
And this is Victor Bout, and this is in the bar too.
Now, this is Victor Bout, the Russian spy, the day he was arrested, and he was still kind of chubby. And he's kind of like a trapped rabbit. if you look at him.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting character because you're not quite sure why he was being arrested and why there was so much focus on him because everybody knew who he was and he'd actually worked for everybody, so no one's quite sure what the real story is of him.
This is another scene in the bar.
Yeah, this is a scene from a bar in Soy Cowboy, and it's just kind of people being kind of impolite and rough and noisy and rowdy, and everything's a little bit, there's a little bit of dirt everywhere. I like to tell people it's as though I dragged the painting out of the bar on the floor and picked up a lot of the dirt from the bar.
This is my favorite, Chris.
Well, that's
Let's
actually
talk
one of
about
my
it.
favorite paintings too. And that's a Bangkok Soy Dog, who I call
Dog.
Bangkok Soy Dog #1. And he's the big boss of soy dogs and Soy 23. And he tells all the soy dogs where they can sleep and which food cart they can eat from and whose girlfriend they can have. And he kind of, you're not quite sure whether he can still see or not because his eyes are so beat up.
But he looks human too, in a way.
And he thinks he's beautiful because he's never seen himself in the mirror. And you see he's smiling, and he thinks he has a really pretty smile, and he has no idea that his smile is kind of scary.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's there every night. And he's got an amazing spirit. He doesn't give up, and he's kind of happy every day, and he's kind of likes being a boss, and he kind of has that kind of Thai spirit of
in
being
a way,
able
he's
to
a Thai.
survive and succeed no matter
How about
what.
this one? This looks famous.
This one is the cover of a well-known book in Thailand
It's
written
down here.
by Christopher Moore, and it's a novel called The Corruptionist.
Should interview him one day.
And the painting is supposed to be a man whose intent is entirely evil and bad. Unlike a good Buddhist, he doesn't want to do any good deeds. He only wants to do bad deeds. And he enjoys doing bad deeds, and he enjoys corrupting everybody around him into doing bad deeds. And so he's called The Corruptionist.
You've been painting like this for quite a while now. Are you going to change your style? Are you going to change your subject?
Well, I've actually done some other paintings. In the show, there's a couple of flower paintings, which are quite different. And I started doing those for my mother, actually.
I see.
Because she kept telling her friends that I was a painter, but she didn't dare show them any of my paintings. But unfortunately, when I started doing the flowers also look like they're from the Bangkok Night.
Yes.
So
you still have
they're a little bit scary flowers.
curiosity, and you want to explore the Bangkok Night much more.
Well, I'm doing some paintings set in Singapore and some paintings set in Phnom Penh.
At the night time?
Yeah, Phnom Penh Noir. And I'm also, I spend a few months every year back on the coast of Maine. I do some paintings on the coast of Maine. But I think the Bangkok Night, it's a good setting, It's such a big setting and so diverse, and it's so revealing of human behavior and human personality.
Well, if anyone wants to come to see the painting, they can come at Koi Gallery here.
Yeah, Koi Gallery's on Sukhumvit Soy 31, Samsipet. And it's a beautiful gallery. It's a new gallery, beautifully designed by the owner-manager Koi. It's a very pleasant place to go, and there's little coffee shops nearby. And it's a nice visit.
But of course, if anyone wants to look at all your paintings, is this all of it in this book?
No. This is actually only less than 10% of my paintings. There are about 100 paintings in the book. It's just been published by a Singapore company called Marshall Cavendish. And this book's been distributed all over the world and on Amazon.com. And it's called Navigating the Bangkok Noir. And it has paintings from the Bangkok Night. And the idea of the title is that it navigates the reader through the Bangkok Night, where he emerges at the other end of his journey, safe and intact.
Oh, I see. So I should turn to the last page and see.
No, you have to follow the trail all the way through. And once you've read this book, you're immune to the Bangkok Night.
So it's not
and you'll never become lost, and you'll never become confused.
So it's not just a catalog of your paintings. It's a story, too, in a way.
Yeah, with each painting, when I do the paintings, I kind of think in terms of a little story of what the human drama is that's going on in the painting. So with the paintings, there's always a little story with each painting.
This is your writing, too?
Yeah.
So you write what you were thinking in terms of painting the picture?
Right. It's kind of writing the idea. I think I do that because I used to be in the movie business, and so I kind of think of the paintings as little stories, almost like little movies.
So this is like a storyboard?
In a sense, it's sort of like a storyboard for the Bangkok Night. Yeah.
Well, I hope someone take it and make a movie out of it, Chris. It would be interesting.
It would be a great movie, but I don't think anyone's ever going to make it.
Well, thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
ครับและนั่นก็คือ Chris Cole กับช่วง Saturday Talk นะครับ